I'm Mariah Powell.
And I'm Donovan Wilson.
And our presentation is on intersectionality in gender and sexuality.
So what is intersectionality? Intersectionality is the interconnected nature of social categorizations such as race, class, and gender as they apply to a given individual or group, regarded as creating an overlapping and interdependent system of discrimination or disadvantage. It was a term coined by the Black feminist movement leader Kimberly Crenshaw.
Race and ethnicity in gender and sexuality identities. Cultural norms around gender. Often norms can vary across racial and ethnic groups and backgrounds. For example, many indigenous cultures historically have had multiple gender categories beyond the binary male and female, such as two-spirit people in the Native American communities. However, colonialism and Western gender norms have often suppressed these identities, contributing to systematic erasure.
So, religion and sexual identities. So, many religions have specific teachings about gender and sexuality that can conflict with the LGBT plus identities. For example, some conservative religious interpretations hold that being LGBTQ plus is sinful, leading to discrimination and rejection of individuals who identify outside traditional gender norms. This may be especially difficult for LGBTQ plus members from religious communities, as they might have to face the choice between their faith and their sexual or gender identity.
Disability and gender sexual identities. People with disabilities often face ableism, which can limit their access to sexual expression or relationships. There are societal myths that people have with disabilities, either asexual or hyposexual, which can affect their experience and express their gender or sexual identities. Disability rights and advocacy may not always fully consider the unique needs of disabled people when it comes to their gender and sexuality. For example, there may be insufficient resources for people with disabilities to access comprehensive sexual education, making it more challenging for them to understand their identities and desires.
So, what is intersectional oppression? So, for disabled people, especially those who are also LGBTQ plus or people of color, may face more complex layers of discrimination. Disabled, queer, or trans individuals, for example, may struggle to find appropriate health care that both respects their gender identity and their physical needs.
Systematic challenges. Some are healthcare. Marginalized individuals often face systematic barriers in healthcare, from inaccessible facilities to healthcare providers who are poorly trained in addressing the needs of LGBTQ plus individuals, people of color, disabled people. For instance, transgender individuals of color may struggle with racism and transphobia when seeking gender-affirming care.
So, how can we advocate and embrace diversity? So, one of these is intersectional advocacy. It is crucial to creating change. Activists and advocates must recognize how overlapping identities can create unique challenges and work to ensure that people who are not left behind in social justice movements. This means supporting policies that protect against discrimination, creating inclusive spaces in activism, and addressing the specific needs of marginalized individuals.
In conclusion, by addressing how race, ethnicity, religion, disabilities intersect with gender and sexuality identities, we can work to create more inclusive society. Embracing these intersections requires recognizing the unique experiences of individuals and ensuring that their voice and needs are heard, respected, and addressed in all advocacy efforts.